There are two different types of parabolas. One is vertical, the other one is horizontal. This point is called the focus. The focus always lies inside of the parabola, and it is a point. This line is called the directrix. This line is called the directrix too. The directrix always lies outside of the parabola. The directrix and the axis of symmetry are perpendicular. The vertex is p units away from the focus and the directrix. This is the p-value. So for example, if the p-value is 3, that means the vertex and the directrix are 3 units apart. 1, 2, 3. And so is the focus. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this is the equation. H and K is your vertex. It is facing up if this is positive, and it is facing down if it is negative. And what I mean by that is if there's a negative in the front, that means it's going to be facing down. This is the equation for a horizontal opening. Notice X and H are swapped. I'm sorry, H and K are swapped, and so is X and Y. So the equations are swapped. It will open to the right if it's positive, so it will look like this, and it'll face the left. It'll open to the left if there's a negative in the front. Okay. So we're going to use this formula over and over again. So let's practice. Remember, the formula is y equals 1 over 4p x minus h squared plus k. And remember, hk is your vertex. So looking at this problem, I can see that my h value is right here. Your h value is 7. Your k value is 2. Now, I know there is a minus sign here, but that's a part of the formula. Your h value is 7. So basically, if you just have a minus in here, it's going to be opposite. If this was a plus 7, then this would be a negative 7. It's always going to be opposite. What is inside of the parentheses will look opposite when you put it in your vertex. Okay. Now let's talk about the direction that it's opening in. So this is my vertex. Because this is a negative and this is a y value, because this is the equation y equals, I know it's going to open down. It's vertical because it has a y equals, and it's facing down because of this negative in the front. So let's go ahead and plot the vertex. This is your vertex at 7, 2. And I know it's going to face down. So it will look something like this. Not perfect, but it will be facing down. Okay, let's talk about what the p-value is. So the formula is 4p. However, the equation is 4. That means your p-value has to be 1, because 4 times 1 will give you this 4. So your p-value is 1. Now let's go back to the notes. Remember, a focus is inside of the parabola. So that means if it's inside of the parabola, it has to be right here. And it's going to be 1 space away because my p-value is 1. Outside of the parabola is the directrix. And that also has to be one space away because my p-value is 1. So the location of my focus is at 7, 1, and the directrix is at the y value 3. It crosses the y-axis at 3. Now let's graph this more perfectly. Notice that this value right here is 4. This is how wide the area around the focus is going to be. It's going to go out 2 this way and out 2 this way. So that's how wide it has to be. From here to here, on both sides of the focus, from here to here has to be 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. It matches this 4. Just as an example, let's pretend that this was a 12. That means I'm going to go out 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 about right here. And that's how far out your graph would go. Because the distance that goes through the focus, it has to be 12 across. It matches right here. So that's how wide you know how to graph this. Okay. Now your axis of symmetry is right here. It splits it right down the middle. It crossed the x-axis at 7. Let's try another one. This time we have x equals. So that means we're going to have a horizontal parabola. It will open to the left because of this negative in the front. Okay, let me give you the formula that we follow. The formula is x equals 1 over 4p times y minus k squared plus h. Your vertex is h, then k. Notice your h location is different from the last problem. So your h value is -6. Your k value is -8. Remember, inside of the parentheses, you do the opposite. So we have a plus sign, so we're going to do a minus sign. So let's go ahead and plot the vertex. Go left 6 and down 8. That's right here. So this is your vertex. Okay, let's figure out the p-value. Notice the original problem, the original has 4p. 4 times what will give you 8? 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 2 will give you this 8. So I know the p-value is 2. Now, I know it's facing the left. That means my graph is going to look something like that. Now, remember, your focus is a point inside of the parabola. So I'm going to go 2 spaces this way so that I am inside of the parabola. That's my focus. I'm going to go 2 spaces outside of the vertex, 2 spaces away from the vertex to write the directrix. So let's label those locations. The focus, right here is the focus. That is at -8, -8. This is the directrix. That crosses the x-axis at -4. Okay, now let's talk about how wide we have to be. I'm going to draw this perfectly now. This value is 8. That means I'm going to go from the focus, go out 4 and 4. So that the total distance is 8. So it's going to go this far out. And that's how you graph it. The distance from this point going through the focus to here is 8. Just like here, just like that 8. Okay, now lastly, the axis of symmetry. This line splits it down the middle. That crosses the y-axis at -8.